everybody, welcome to another episode of Cape Rugby TV. Wednesday nights, 9 o'clock. Nice to have you along. Coming up on Friday is, of course, Women's Day, so tonight's show is slightly different. We've got a few of the ladies joining us, which is, of course, long overdue. When we were out at Milnerton not so long ago, we spoke to Nolene there, and Nolene told us we've got to look after women's rugby this year. So, well, this is the opportunity. We tried to get Mr. H into a dress, but he quite simply refused. Nolene, nice to have you along. Welcome to Cape Rugby TV.
Thanks very much. Nice
Long
to be
overdue.
here. First time here, yeah.
You're, of course, the manager of the Western Province Rugby women's side.
That's correct.
And also no stranger to Cape Rugby TV, Natasha Hofmeister. Hello, Natasha.
Hello.
Nice to have you here.
It's nice to be back again.
Currently playing for the South African side, playing with the South African Sevens.
Yes.
And, of course, you're the vice captain of the SA Sevens and playing for Western Province at the moment.
Yes. Enjoying myself on the
Enjoying
field.
yourself.
Yeah.
Fantastic. And, of course, no stranger to the Cape Rugby TV show, Mr. H.
Good evening, Jackie.
Gaan we jou, meneer?
I had such a great weekend of rugby.
Ja.
Met allerlei goed wat gebeurde daar waar ons was.
Action-packed
Yeah.
club rugby, yeah?
Nice.
That's how it is, yeah. All right, folks, before we get into where we were at the weekend, of course, we were at Elsie's Rivier, one of our favorite clubs. We're going to go watch a play against Macassar at Elsie's home ground. But before we get into that, let's catch up with some of the results in Super League game. Hamilton's 34-22 over Belhar, 28-12 for Marties over Helderberg, Durbel 54-24 over Tygerberg, and Vix, well, they managed to pull one over UCT, 33 points to 29. Mr. H, let me start there with you. We don't have the famous Morgan Newman with us this evening. He would have probably told us more about the Hammies game, but again, not really a big gap between those two sides, 34-22.
Yeah, well, Morgan said that, Bella is going to be a difficult side to play. And I see, from reports that they were into the game right until our man of the match that we picked for Hamilton's, there at Hamilton's, Neil Cleghorn came onto the field and scored 2 tries and then swung the game in favor of Bella. Bella also missed a few penalties.
Now, Natasha, let's go to you here. Marties, they beat Helderberg 28-12 over the weekend. I mean, you play women's rugby at Marties, and you must be in touch with what the guys are doing there. Marties, are they ready for action at the moment?
I think so. I'm not really in touch with them, but keep up with the scores and all that.
Yeah.
And they're looking good at the moment, so I'm all for Marties.
You're
Doesn't
all for
matter
Marties.
what.
So, do you think that they should have beaten Helderberg with a higher score?
But of course, why not?
Nolene, are they all this confident, the ladies?
Most definitely. Most of the time, yes.
A lot of the ladies come from Marties, right?
Majority of our girls come from Marties and UWC is the majority.
Why are UWC and Marties so strong in women's rugby?
The only clubs that support their women's side.
The only 2 clubs that support the women's side?
I mean, we've got a few African teams as well. Blue Jets, Busy Bees, and Young Peoples.
Yeah.
Young Brothers. Young Brothers. Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, young Peoples, Young Brothers, Young Stars.
No, Young Brothers. No, no. But maybe, in the future we'll see a few bigger clubs. The Super A clubs do have women's rugby. I think Marties is the only club that has women's rugby that's Super A clubs.
Okay. So are we going to see some growth in women's rugby? Are we going to see it come up from any other clubs?
Yeah, there's lots of youth coming through, and my feeling is we're losing the girls by the time they get to us. When they're still at school, they support and they play and they get through the system. But when we miss them from under 18 to senior rugby, I think Natasha's going to back me there. We miss the girls. We lose out on quite a lot of girls that just stop playing rugby for whatever reasons.
Well, ladies, if you are listening right now and you want to start playing club rugby, well, go join a club. Right? Don't wait for one of the administrators to chase you. Go join a club. Anyway, we're going to talk more about women's rugby and some of the events coming up during the course of the show. There are other results there in Super League A was Durbel against Tygerberg 54-24. At the moment, we wouldn't say that that's really much of a surprise. But Mr. H, I would say that one of the other surprises there is Vix beating UCT 33-29.
Yeah, that was a surprise. And I think UCT has done themselves a great disfavor to keep in touch with the front runners by going down to Vix. I can't recall when last Vix beat UCT. Trying to find out.
You think that Vix is maybe getting a little bit of pressure from the senior guys to say, come on guys, we need Marties and Vix to do this?
It could be. Well, it will help Marties, you know.
Marties
Vix can beat a few of these.
Marties is, of course, the only club in the entire league that, or Western Province, that has two clubs.
2 teams.
2 teams from one club.
Yeah.
All right. Before we start a political minefield and controversial discussion, we'll just leave that one alone and we'll go straight to Super League B for some more interesting results there. Goodwood 21 loss for them against False Bay. False Bay were looking for that result, 80-21 against Goodwood. Kales River 41-12 over Villagers, Hands and Hearts. Well, they went down to NNK 31-21 and UWC, and then 59-19 over Brackenfell. On the stage?
There's going to be a, you know, you see now UWC lost. Suddenly they're coming back strongly. Falls Bay is staying strongly. Primrose is waiting there in the wings while fasting. And I think their first game would be against Falls Bay. It would probably be a Wednesday night game. So it's going to be tough in that area.
Well, I tell you, Falls Bay are not holding back at the moment. They are certainly they want to just destroy everything in their way.
It's quite interesting to see the big scores that they're putting up.
No, well, they're definitely. And then
so
UWC also bouncing back a little bit there with a 59-19 over Brackenfell.
Just to talk about big scores, you know, it was quite an achievement, I think, on Saturday when Marius White, the Durbanville captain, ran out for his
100th game against Durban.
We don't get that quite often in our club rugby.
Yeah, and of course that does not include warm-up or community matches, only Super League A matches. So 100 matches there.
As captain.
As captain, yeah. So congratulations then, Marius. 100 games playing for one club only in Super League A. I'm sure a lot of the clubs out there will take a leaf out of the page, out of the book of Durban of how to keep a captain, or a leaf out of the tree. Depends on the kind of analogy that you want to use. Nolene, what do you guys make of these scores? I mean, you're at Milnerton at the moment. There's some big scores.
Yeah, there's definitely, and we're preparing very hard for next season. Preparations is crucial, and we just hope that when we get there next year, that the moment won't be too big for us, because these are big names. There's clubs with lots of history and stuff, but Milnerton as well comes for a long time, and there's a lot of pride and a lot of, it's nice to see the old boys coming back to the club, guys that's been away for a long time, that because we're doing well, yes, they're all coming onto the bandwagon, but it's nice to have them part of the trip on our way up, so it's nice to have that vibe at the club now.
Is Ishmael Dolly, will he be staying with you guys? I mean, Ish is obviously a regular on the show, but we know he's coaching at the amateur side now. He's going to stay with Milnerton, Union Mall?
Yes, he's indicated that he's keen to stay with us, and that will definitely make a huge difference for us at the club as well, having the stability of the coach coming through for the next season. And most of the boys, I think, will also stay. We haven't approached that scenario yet. The season's not finished yet.
Are you waiting? Are you like many other clubs, sort of waiting to see what's going to happen with the new format for next year?
I think we're very excited about it, because as we all say, we skip a league. So for us, it's a major excitement.
Very exciting,
and it would have taken a long time to get there. So the energy is there, and the boys are positive, and we've got a great team. So we're top of the log at the moment. So there's a big rivalry there.
Yeah, but of course you guys are fasting at the moment.
That's right, yeah. So last week,
You're kind of sitting in the bleachers now, waiting to see what's going to happen with the other teams.
Yeah, our under-20s played this weekend a catch-up game, so they won as well against our big rivals, Young People. So they beat Young People's in the. So it's nice the boys are all there, and they're active, busy, and training is every week as normal. The numbers are good. So even if it's fasting time, the boys are still coming down to train. So it's unbelievable.
Natasha, how often do you guys practice from Marty's point of view?
Well, Marty's point of view, we practice once a week because it's now provincial league. So we twice at Western Province, and then once a week coming together at Marty's, and then every other weekend we're playing. But because it's long weekend, most of us are playing tonight. Yes.
Mostly playing
Yeah.
tonight. So
Yeah.
it's and tell us about the club sides. I mean, I'm assuming we are talking about the club sides. You guys, how many games do you guys play in the season? Is it the same as the other clubs?
Well, yeah, we all play like a home and away type of game,
Yeah.
type of thing. I just recently joined Martis now because I've been away with the Sevens campaign with the Springboks. So tonight will actually be my second club game. But I know they've been playing all season long, and actually they're busy with their second round of away games at the moment. So it's there's 8 clubs, so it's home and away. So yeah, guys are going
It's a
strong.
little bit more challenging if you're only practicing club rugby once a
It
week.
is. I have to say it is. But then at the other hand, with the majority of us being at Western Province, we get the match fitness in. So
And you're sort of playing together anyway.
and we play together anyway.
So
So yeah.
Flav is your centre, and your centre is your wing. And
Yeah.
I suppose everyone wants me to start singing that song now. It's been going on every show now that we keep talking about this stuff. All right, let's take a look now at the results in Premier League A. Some more interesting results there. St George's beat Kraaifontein 40 points to 17. Scottsdene going down to Silurians 48-17, and Elsie's 28-25 against Macassar. That was, of course, the game that we were at over the weekend. Yes, tough one for St George's, or at least for Kraaifontein. I know that they were looking for a better win there. And Scottsdene Silurians, very tough match there. Scottsdene doing well under Alistair Sigelaar, and but Silurians this year are extremely strong, as we know. But the match that we were out at over the weekend was, of course, Elsie's against Macassar. It was, as usual, an exceptionally special day to go out there and see what a club can do. Not just from a rugby point of view, but from an entertainment point of view, from a fan perspective, from people just coming out and enjoying the game. Well, why don't we just show you what happened? Let's take a look at the highlights.
Baie goed. Lekker.
Wat is van support jy?
Op huidige oomblik nie eens van ek geniet die rugby nie.
Beautiful day, good rugby. What more can we ask for?
Everything is in order. I mean, I think they're one of the most organized clubs in the world, and especially thanks to Ms. Ellis for everything. Wonderful.
Absolutely fantastic. Fantastic atmosphere. It's nice to see all the people enjoying the game today.
Welcome back, folks. Yes, the highlights there. The match between Elsie's Rafir and Macassar, another great game. And, well, I must say, it was in the dying minutes because Elsie's had them. Mr. H, this scenario where we are always bringing good luck to Elsie's, it just didn't seem to work out on the day. I mean, every time we go there, they have excellent results. And I think someone jinxed it in the middle of the game because they were up, what, 27-5 at one stage?
Yeah, that's right.
Or a high score. I can't remember if it was 27-5. And then they really just, and they could have taken it in the last second back.
Yeah, they could. But earlier in the game also, they had opportunities to score, and the same wing dropped 1 or 2 passes, you know, and so they really only have themselves to blame.
No, they actually do. I was looking at when we were putting together the highlights package, I was just looking at how poor the handling skills were, because as much as they had the move set up, the ball wasn't going to hand.
You're quite right. And but they had the support, you know, the people were there. It was a nice atmosphere. Executive members.
Yeah. Yeah, fantastic to see. I mean, I don't think we've seen that many executive members at a club game in a long time. And we'll catch up. You were seeing them on the screen there, folks. We had the president of Western Province Rugby, Mr. Taylor Wakefield, there. One of the executive members, Mr. Peter Jooster. One of the directors from the board of SA Rugby, Pat Kuhn, obviously at Western Province, everybody knows him.
Mr. Marais.
Vice President Zelt Marais was there. And Danny Jones, who's no stranger to the Cape Rugby TV show, was also there. Talking about the head of course, the head of amateur rugby at Western Province. So it was fantastic to have so many people come out to see what is all this LC's Macassar about. Natasha, what do you guys do for entertainment before and after the game? I mean, obviously you play for the Springboks, and they've got supreme entertainment around in those games. Do the guys bring out pamphlets and newsletters when you guys play rugby?
Well, that's the thing about women's rugby. We have to do our own little bit of entertainment. But I must say, the last time the SA squad played in Cape Town, I must say that SA Rugby did a lot on promoting women's rugby, bringing all the club games to one venue. They made out posters, that type of thing. So SA Rugby did like promote us, but most of the time when it comes to women's rugby, we have to do our own little entertainment, and sometimes being a player and try to figure that out, it's a bit difficult.
You don't have all the time for that, eh?
Exactly.
Which is where a good manager comes in the picture.
Yes, and that's why we love Nolene so
Nolene,
much.
oh, so sweet. Nolene, tell us a little bit about that. We see we're going to speak to Anselin April and Alice Michaels. We're going to introduce the audience to Anselin and Alice, who are key volunteers. People who volunteer, which is pretty much what club rugby administrators do.
That's
They're
true.
all volunteers.
Yeah.
How do you turn it on? I mean, we get in Milnerton. You really have a lot of supporters there.
Yeah, when the girls come and play at Milnerton, they see it as their home ground. So Western Province girls love playing there because the club makes a fuss about them, and they treat them like royalty. And the girls don't normally get that from their own clubs. So make a fuss about them. And they perform on the day.
What do you mean, why make a fuss?
Even if it's food afterwards, or just the crowds cheering them on, or the guys are coming from their club game, the under-20s, for instance, on Saturday. They came from their game to come back home to come and support them because the girls are playing there.
Do the guys all get very excited when you guys are playing, Natasha?
Of course they do.
Is that what it's about?
Yeah, because we used to train against them. Play practice matches and that type of thing. So whenever they hand out or like give us a handoff, and they feel so proud when we do it in the game.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Because they helped you do it.
Yes.
All right. Okay. So you're talking about a handoff, not a handout.
Yeah.
All right. Let's catch up with the losing captain and coach from LC's Rugby. Desmond, down to the wire vir julle vandag, né? Amper oor die lyne. Lyk my ons het nie toe vir julle vandag die geluk gebring nie.
Wat kan ek sê is ek is proud op die boys en hy miskien wat weer het ons self weer gepace en hy is wel miskien wat te vinnig uitgat in die first half. En toe so nog gesien wat in die second half gebeur het met mekaar uitgeval en hy. Wat op hy is maar net wat weer back to the drawing board.
Was daar 'n stadium in die game wat julle gedink het dis nou in die sak?
Ja, as ek gesê het, ja, but weer ons al so van die pedal af, miskien bring sy as sy opposition in to play.
Miskien bietjie overconfident daarso net op die end.
Overconfident, ja. Ek sal liewes dat sê op hy as miskien die bal geër dan speel ons waar ons in kontrole van die bal speel, jy weet dat paniek raak miskien, but wat dit self op hy het hier man uitgeroep het wat so steen is en hy.
Maar dit wys ons weer eens wat 'n tipe talent julle hierso het by LC. Ek meen die ouens het 'n great game gespeel.
Okay. Ja, ons het net ons het lank as ons mekaar gespeel en hy sien nie. Dus wat dan ons goed doen sie van vandag hier.
Wel Desmond, het gaan nie altyd 'n manier die kant wat 'n mens wil nie, maar wel gedaan anyway.
Okay dan. Dankie Zaipi.
David, down to the wire. You guys had them on the ropes, just didn't go your way.
Yeah, you know, that's the way the game goes. I mean, we had our chances, we didn't take it. We were leading 22-7 at half time, but I think our fitness let us down in the end.
But once again, we were just speaking to Desmond now. I mean, the amount of talent you guys have got here, and to come out and play such good rugby, it shows positive for the way forward.
Yeah, you know, we've got a lot of talent in the community, but I mean, talent alone brings you nowhere, you know. I mean, at the end of the day, we lost the game. It was a bounce of the ball, could have gone either way, but I mean, hats off to Macassar. They played great rugby. They came at us till the end and they defended well towards the end and we couldn't pull it off.
Anything specific you're going to look at working on for the rest of the season?
You know, there's about 4 games left. You know, we're at the bottom of the log. We're not giving up. You know, there's still plenty to play for. I think we can still do it, but you know, I think our option taking, that's the main thing that we've got to concentrate on.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I think we're doing well. I mean, like I said, it's a bounce of the ball. But I mean, if we take the correct options, then I'm sure we can still win some games.
Well, you got some fans here that are very proud of you guys anyway. So I know it didn't go your way, but you know, well done on the great support here.
Thanks a lot, JP.
Yes, it didn't go the way for Elsies on the day, but like the coach said there, they only had themselves to blame because they were in the match for most of it. And I'll tell you, Mr. H, during that game, people were all saying, Cape Rugby, you've done it again. Don't sit julle weer die pressure op ons. Ek was nog besig om te stap, but it was an incredible day there from the time that we arrived to the very end. It was just really, I only ended up leaving there, but we'll talk about that in a sec. Before we start getting into all the entertainment and the lekker skap that was there at Elsie's, let's catch up with the winning captain and coach of Macassar, of which they had as many supporters there. And to the folks outside that are watching right now from Macassar, hello, because ek moet net vir julle almal sê hallo, want julle was so nice op die dag. So baie mense van Macassar wat vir ons ken en wat die show watch. So we were really thrilled to have that opportunity to see all the Macassar fans out there. Let's catch up now with the winning coach and captain, Stuart Africa from Macassar. Right, folks, Elsie's against Macassar today, and it looks like the Cape Rugby hoodoo didn't work for Elsie's today. Macassar, a good win for you guys, Mr. Africa.
Yes, a good win, but late, very late. It came very late. Our guys were taken asleep there by the beginning, but later on they came back.
It's been a bit of an up and down season for you guys. I mean, some of those matches against Solarians didn't go your way, but it was a positive one for you guys, although maybe a little bit nerve-wracking at times.
Yeah, very nerve-wracking. Yeah, it's a positive thing for us. We're our first year in this league, and Elsie's have been in this league for quite a while. But I'm very proud of my guys for their performance during the year and also today.
Well, thanks for chatting with us, and best of luck for the rest of the season.
Thank you.
Right, folks, the captain of Macassar, Dion Delport. Dion, you guys must be very happy with this win at the last minute.
Ja, JP, ons het 'n neiging deesdae om dit te laat, maar wel dan aan die boys. Hulle het karakter gesou, hulle het soos gewoonlik, I never die spirit van Macassar het hulle weer eens getoon, maar well done guys. Ons het 'n doel wat ons moet bereik. Ons het nog nie van ons doel af, guys, so well done vir Elsies. Dankie vir die game, was 'n goeie game. Maar vir my boys, good luck boys.
Sê ons gou Dion voor jy nou weggaan. Daai laaste minuut van die game, was daar 'n paar butterflies in die maag?
Nee, JP, van Macassar se kant af, want ons het geweet, ons laat altyd die laastes. Ons fight tot op die einde. En ons gaan tot op die laaste minuut. Dat is 'n tradisie van Macassar het. Ons gaan tot op die laaste. As die ref sê is time, dan is dit time. Dat is die spirit van Macassar.
Ja, maar luister, weer eens wel gedaan.
Asai, dankie.
Good African, Dion Delport there, winning captain and coach at Macassar. Macassar had a bit of a rough run against the Solarians. I mean, it almost looked like this year it was only about Macassar and Solarian.
I think, you know, they've left Solarians now, you know. There's no need for them to worry about Solarians anymore. They've played them, they finished with them. Now they must concentrate on the others. And like the coach said, you know, the task is not done yet. They want to end up higher and make sure that they also move up. So yeah, that's the aim for them.
Well, they definitely a fired up side, and as you heard Dion there say, they like to play 80 minutes of rugby.
Well, they came back spectacularly. Yeah. I thought it was finished. The game was finished, and then they came back and they sort of scored and took the lead.
There's sort of two sides to that there in terms of what we're looking at. Is that first of all, We've seen many clubs throw the game away in the last 15 minutes. Basically, we saw that from Elsie's, whether it be composure or whether it be fitness. In this case, the coach thought they just weren't fit enough. But what it also does is it shows that Macassar have learned how to play with big match temperament. In other words, the game's not over until it's over.
That's right.
Elsie's actually nearly had a try at the very end there. And all Macassar had to do was just hold them off the line. I mean, the ball went over the line, and I don't know if you guys saw it, but it was the first time actually that I saw a player jump on the ref. The referee got almost got suffocated there by one of the Macassar players just to say, "Thank you, well done." So that was great. Folks, this week at least, we of course have a new sponsor on the Man of the Match, and it's the trusty old Evox Advanced Nutrition that has jumped in to sponsor the Man of the Match and continue this tradition of giving 1,000 Rand to a club rugby player. Now that's very exciting. Of course, Evox Advanced Nutrition is the official sports nutrition supplier to Western Province Rugby and the DHL Stormers, and you as a club player can also get your share of that special offer from Evox. So make sure that you get hold of the guys at Evox Advanced Nutrition. We're going to get to the Man of the Match right after break. Enjoy the next scene. We'll be back with you in a sec when we bring you the Evox Advanced Nutrition Man of the Match, who wins for himself $1,000. Guys, at every game, somebody has to keep the scoreboard ticking. All right? 3 of the young chaps here at LC's Rafir helped the scoreboard ticking today. What's your name?
Cherenstein.
And what's your name?
Tamara Marenke.
And what's your name?
Adrian Adams.
All right, these 3 guys, do you guys do all the scoreboard every week?
Yes. Yes.
Do you like doing the scoreboard?
Yes.
Are you going to play for LC's one day?
Yes.
Are you going to play for the Stormers one day?
Yes.
What position do you play?
Prop.
What do you play?
Flank.
What do you play?
Prop.
So 2 props in the flank.
Yes.
And who's your favorite club?
Elsies.
Say it a little bit louder.
Elsies.
There we go. Keeping the scoreboard rolling, folks. Cape Rugby TV back in a mo. So as we promised, the Evox Advanced Nutrition Man of the Match. We might as well catch up with them right now. Let's see who got lucky. Folks, this is where it all started. The Cape Rugby TV Man of the Match. Our Man of the Match today is Werner Williams. He plays number 6 for Macassar, and we're fortunate enough also to have the president of Western Province Rugby, Mr. Thello Wakefield, here to hand over the check to Jerome, the chairman at LC's, who's done this before. So, before we hand the check over to Werner, let's just ask Mr. Wakefield, Thello, a great day of rugby here at LC's.
Absolutely fantastic. Fantastic to see how Macassar came back and win this hard game. It was a tough game, and it's nice to see the atmosphere. It's nice for me to be here to see it personally, and well done to Macassar. It's smart guys.
Thello, jy ken hierdie buurt nogal goed. Dis seker lekker om al die mense hier te sien.
Absoluut, ek het groot geword in Elsie's Rivier, en het is vir my lekker om te sien dat die mense in Elsie's Rivier hou nog so baie van rugby. Ek moet ook vir Jerome baie dankie sê vir wat hulle doen vir rugby in Elsie's Rivier. Ek sal nooit my wortels uittrek uit Elsie's Rivier, want in hierdie straat het ek rondgeloop aan 'n dag.
Jerome, ons gaan nou die check vir jou gee, dit voordat hier so by ons verbykom. Mr. Wakefield, bly maar daar naby ons. Jerome, 'n lekker dag hier so. Alice en Anson het weer al die stops uitgetrek. Die fans is hier so, die nuusbriewe is hier so, die posters is hier so, en boonop is die skaap hier so.
Pragtig man, baie dankie aan almal se opkoms vanmiddag. Dit was lekker rugby geweest. Baie dankie so genoem het aan Alice wat altyd harde werk doen. Sy het my voor die tyd gesê haar boyfriends kom, so sy het altyd vir ons surprise soos altyd. Maar geluk aan Macassar en baie dankie guys vir 'n lekker dag.
Ek gaan nou vir jou vra hierso vir 'n baie talented speler wat ek dink hy was miskien julle downfall vandag. Jy gaan vir hom nou die Evox check gee en ons en handskit asseblief. Werner, jy kan hierso handskit met die chairman van LC's en die president van WP Rugby, so meneer Wakefield. En ons gaan gou Werner, hoe voel dit vandag om weg te stap met R1000? Jy het vandag baie lekker rugby gespeel.
Baie lekker en ek het vir myself gesê die game ons moet dit wen, want dit is 'n away game en ons het daar 'n game voorheen gehad en ons het dit deurgedruk en ons speel net 40 minute rugby nie. Vir Elsies wil ek maar net sê ons speel 80 minute rugby. Dit is 'n goeie game.
Voordat ons gaan mense, laat ek net gou vra Mr. Wakefield, is there a word that from Western Province Rugby that you would give a young player like this?
Yeah, but just keep on. I also saw him in the game. He was very, very lively. But a word to both clubs. Keep up the good work, guys. It's nice to see that our rugby is strong in Western Province. Thank you very much.
There we go, folks. Werner, congratulations. You walk away with R1,000 courtesy of Evox Advanced Nutrition, the official sports nutrition supplier to DHL Western Province Rugby and the DHL Stormers. $1,000 to a young, talented player who we hope to see much more of in the future. Congratulations.
Thank you.
We'll be back in the Belfast break. So yes, another R1,000 there to a man of the match, courtesy of Evox Advanced Nutrition. And remember, folks, if you are a club rugby player, and we can't tell you this enough, you are also entitled to a sponsored rate. So just ask your coach, ask your manager, otherwise go to the front page of the Western Province Club Rugby website, and you will see on that page there, on the right-hand side, there's a banner that you can click on, and you can just fill in your information, because it is part of the whole Evox sponsorship deal, as you see on the back screen. Well, you did see on the back screen a few seconds ago. Okay, so that was our man of the match. Nalini, I've got to ask you in terms of the importance, and we're going to speak to introduce everybody to Anzan April and Alice Michaels in a second, and also just look at what they did there. The importance of activity before and after a game, so that you're not relying on what happens during that 80 minutes. How important is that for you at a club?
It's very important. We've got a strong team. Everybody's got their job description. We've got from the ball boys that knows their job description, looking after the ball, setting up the field, breaking down the field. It's a team effort, and it's sometimes people forget that behind the scenes is almost just as important, and sometimes even more important than the boys on the field. So, you know, for the day to run smoothly is the guys at the gate, the girls in the kitchen, the guys behind the bar, everybody that do their little thing, and then all the cleaners cleaning up.
The girls in the kitchen, the guys in the bar?
No, at our club has actually changed. Now it's the girls behind the bar and the boys in the kitchen.
Yes, I know. I've been to your bar. It's a very nice bar.
Yeah, and
Natasha, how much difference does it make for you knowing that on the day, as the player now, everybody has got their act together on the field? There's more entertainment, there's more hype. How does that work out for the players, mentality, from when they're strapping on their boots and in game time?
It's very important that everyone knows what to do and what is their job description. And like Nalini said, when everybody behind the scene knows what to do, it takes just so much pressure off the player. And you've got just one job just to focus on your job on the field. And it's very important though, because most of the time you get players that especially when you're playing from the bench, you've got a job.
Yeah.
So now you're worried about this job, and then you're not really focusing on your job on the field when you come onto the field. So yes, it's important for the people behind the scenes to do their job, but it's also important for those just to acknowledge those people behind the scenes.
But let's take it a step further, because women's rugby certainly hasn't been given the kind of recognition that it's supposed to have had. We, as Nadine was saying, and yourself, we just still don't have enough women participating in rugby. It must feel good for you guys when the women's team is playing, that you see that there are supporters, you see there's activity, and I know you touched on it in terms of the Springbok side, but at club level?
It's nice when you run onto the field and there's supporters. What we've done as players, we've started our own Facebook page.
Yeah.
So whenever we play a home game, which we see now as Milnerton, we put it on Facebook and we put it out there for everyone to know. So that's how we promote ourselves, by putting it on Facebook, putting it on Twitter, putting it on whatever social network we can, just putting it out there and invite people to come and watch our games. So it is nice when you run out on the field and see all the people come and watch you, family, friends, and everyone.
So again, people taking the initiative to get support around the game and not just sitting back and blaming and pointing fingers, but more again a scenario of is people taking the initiative and getting volunteers out there. And in this case, the girls themselves have said, well, no one else is helping us, we might as well do it ourselves. Am I right, Nani?
Yeah, that's true. I mean, and also it takes one girl to say that's maybe an injured player that can't be on the field, but you still want to be part of it. We in female rugby do have girls that fall pregnant and has families and stuff as well, so they do leave the rugby profession.
That's a problem we don't really have in the men's rugby. You know, they don't fall pregnant all that often.
So it's different in that sense. But those girls do come back to the game, either be involved in selecting or be on the days. Is there anything we can do? I mean, I know one of our players of previous years, Linka, took all the photos last year because she wanted to be part, took some action photos next to this field. And those little things add up at the end. It gives you that geest that you want next to the field where everybody's involved.
We said it before, you can try and be concerned about losing players. You can worry about whether or not your president is going to be elected for the 55th year or whatever it is, which seems to be the case quite often. But the one person that seems to be now is the one that you don't lose and lose at your peril is the volunteer.
That's for sure, definitely.
Talking about volunteers, and we've heard about them now for the last 3 years running, and this essentially is what has happened in the club rugby space. Is that we've started to realize that club rugby is not about the winning, it's not about the paying, it's whether or not you get the fans around the field. Because if you get the fans around the field, you get the players to the game. You get the players to the game, you have more depth. The more depth you have, the better chance you have of performing well. If you don't focus on the volunteers to get the event, to get the club active, you quite simply will not have a team. You can pay for the best players in the world, and if there are no supporters, they won't stay for very long. So who's the most important person in the entire organization? Well, in our opinion, it is the volunteer. 2 volunteers that are key to the process of making a club successful, and we've focused on them during the last 3 years on the Cape Rugby TV show, who have epitomized the role of volunteers is Ansel April and Alice Michaels from Elsie's Rugby. We caught up with them. Let's introduce you.
Right, folks, it's halftime here. Elsie's Rugby is against Macassar. We've come out here, Cape Rugby TV, one of our favorite grounds. And of course, at Elsie's, they show how to make club rugby work. And one of the legends here at Elsie's, of course, Ansel April. And I'm with Ansel, who's made the Scarp Braai famous on Cape Rugby TV. Ansel, it looks like it's another good day for you guys at Elsie's.
Yeah, JP, I'm so glad that I posted that very first sheep that you had here with primitive ways. And that that sheep made you guys come here in 2011. I'm happy to be part of the Cape Rugby crew, part of the Cape Rugby thing that they're doing for club rugby as such. I want to thank Mr. Parker from Arizona Garage in Holt Road in Ellis River.
But you talked about, forget about that kind of thing. I mean, when we arrived here, there were posters and flyers, and Alice has done his, I mean, here's an example of the Elsie's River, poster that Alice has done. How much of a difference does it make to have someone like Alice Michaels at a club and do these little programs and flyers and so on?
We are proud of having Alice here.
Make a difference at club level?
Totally making a difference, the JP. The pamphlets that you saw that you got came at the gate when you came in, the pamphlets you saw, other clubs are following that very same template. As the movie goes, any given Sunday, you can come around to Ellis River any given Saturday.
Listen, from a Cape Rugby TV point of view and a Western Club Rugby point of view, to you and Alice, and we're going to try and chat to Alice a little bit later. Here's Alice now. Alice, come and say hello to us quickly. Folks, we've got Alice Michaels over here. We're going to just introduce you to Alice. No one's had a chance to meet Alice yet. We've got to show Alice. Alice, go staan bietjie hierso. Alice made these flyers, which you obviously you would have seen them on camera earlier on. Alice, you do this every weekend? Great stuff.
Yeah, it's only like if we have a special day, and then I do posters, and every home game, and then I do all the pamphlets, and so like it's now Women's Month, so I put a women's poster in it.
Yeah. Hoeveel verskil maak dit vir die fans op 'n dag as jy daai dinge doen?
I think it's when they come around here and Lavravasi jokes, Alice, so they like the jokes. So I want JP is here to see the jokes as well, and wishing the people get well, and and
do you enjoy it?
Yes, I love. This is my passion.
Yeah.
Doing invitations and pamphlets and.
So this is not about the money.
No, there's no money. They don't give me any money. This is not about the money. It's the passion.
So incredibly, we've managed to pull it out. Some of the stuff from Elsie's Rugby, and folks, if you weren't there, you can see just one poster that Alice put together. Elsie's Rugby United loves JP and Cape Rugby TV. Anyway. So there's a nice poster. Where on earth Alice got all these? Alice at least got all these images from. We don't know. There's a nice one there. Then Elsie's River United loves Cape Rugby TV panel. This is Morgan, Jerome, and Mr. H. So another poster that was around the thing, around the desk. There you go. There you see that one there. And then of course another one here. Elsie's River loves Mr. H. So Mr. H there, of course, Mr. H. You can keep that one for yourself. JP Lekadung, yeah. Another one from Mr. H. And then this little newsletter that I think that Alice does. I think is absolutely fantastic. Newsletter with a little insert on both sides, and it's double printed. Save the dates. Hier op Elsie's word 'n heel skaap gebraai en ons hoop JP en Mr. H kan die skaapbraaier vandag vind. En al die braaiers en potjiekos konings, hierdie twee manne in die TV crew kom van ver, ek sê maar net. And then of course Alice at least, I keep on Alistair, I don't know, because we had Alistair could see on the show last week. Nolene, you'll be happy to hear about this because it's Women's Month. She put together a little insert here, Elsie's River United, which is All Women a Happy Women's Month, August 2013, and starts off with a strong woman works out every day to keep her body in shape, but a woman on strength kneels in prayer to keep her soul in shape. So Alice, fantastic stuff there, motivational quotes. There's the jokes. There's the jokes on the back here. And then she's got her fixtures, the fixtures for the rest of the season. Elsie's fixtures is a bye, and then on the 10th of August, in Scottsdene at home, Rangers at home, Paarl away, and then St. George's at home. And it says there's a food fair. Mr. H, that's a kosfees. So there you go. So Alice, yeah, now you and Anston, fantastic stuff. Well done. Keep up the good work. And we'll, of course, keep promoting all the clubs out there that are also doing the good work. Let's quickly look at the other results now in Super League, or at least in Premier League B. Franschhoek 30-35 loss for them against Langa, and Van der Stel beating Eerste 41 points to 20. We know that the guys will be happy on that side of the world. Northerns 28-18 over Stelco. Laguna beating Wraithby. Silverleaf 31-18 over Busy Bees. Atlantis beating Rockland 16-17. In Division 2, Blue Jets 22-19 over Carlmore. Young Wesley's losing to Masipumulele 33 points to 12. In Division 3, Retreat beating Young Ideas. Imekawi losing to Rangers, but that looks like another score that was not put in, as it does with Whistling Wheels 22-0. Those are 2 5-pointers. Two teams probably that haven't put their scores in again. Police 30-17 over Progress, and then 2 0-0s there, which I'm assuming once again were scores that were either matches were possibly abandoned or scores not put in. Lower Palm 38-19 over Allendale, 45-25 for Simonium over Bintnell United, and then 4 more scores there that are not put in. Blue Swallows, again, against Blue Stars, looks like scores not put in. Lamont 27-21 against the Pumas, and Lawandle 17-12 over Languedoc. Time for us to take an ad break. Once again, well done to Alice and Anslin and Elsie's. You guys do a fantastic job. And when we come back, we'll offer you an opportunity to spot the ball once again and win yourself a Cape Rugby TV t-shirt as well as a Lexar flash drive. Back with you in a moment. Time to spot the ball. All right, so we have this competition on a regular basis. Last week we asked you once again to spot the ball to win yourself a Cape Rugby TV t-shirt and a Lexar flash drive. Cape Rugby TV t-shirt. Let me just stretch down here quickly. These Cape Rugby TV t-shirts are going thick and fast. And yeah, that's it. Cape Rugby TV t-shirt is in the mix. You want to win yourself a Cape Rugby TV t-shirt. Right, let's take a look at the spot the ball competition that we had up last week. Can you spot the ball? A1, A2, A3, C1, C2, C3, B1, B2, B, and B3. And let's have a look. Where's the ball? There's the ball. Let's quickly take one more look at where the ball is. And remember, you find this on Facebook. Of course, congratulations there to Barnice Harman. Barnice wins in for herself that Cape Rugby TV t-shirt and a Lexar flash drive. Right, gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, should I say. Some interesting rugby coming up over the weekend. A lot of women's rugby. The events on Saturday, City Park, Mr. H. There's quite a bit of activity there.
It's Friday.
Sorry, of course, yes. Everything on Friday. I'm keep forgetting it's a public holiday on Friday. What's happening at City Park this weekend?
There's 4 schools international games. The Western Province B team, the Craven B team will play against Italy. Against Montpellier in France. Yeah. Then the other 2 that will play early is the Western Province Craven team against Italy.
Let's bring them up on the screen there. We can have a quick look at some of those pictures that you're talking about there.
France against Wales, and then the main game would be South Africa versus England schools.
Okay, it's a school side.
Yeah,
School
it'll be
side,
quite
yeah.
interesting.
So there's some.
Those are all the future Springboks,
It's
and
quite
the
a-
future friends. And
It's quite a wide variety. The school's invitation team, the Craven Week team, the French national team against schools, though, again, coming out here. It looks like we're getting a lot of foreign visitors.
yeah, no, it's a annual thing. They come to South Africa, those three teams.
Yeah.
They play here, and then they will go play the same matches or against other opponents in Worcester, or at least in Boland, and then in Southwestern District, in George.
Natasha, what's it like playing against all these international sides when they come and visit?
That's awesome. That's all I can say. It's just, it's one thing playing here, and we like to play, we love to play at home against international sides, because then we have the opportunity to play in front of our home crowd, and we can actually show our family and friends that we can play, because sometimes they think we just got there by luck. But it's nice playing against the international sides when they come here, and it's a confidence boost when you beat them on your own home turf. Yeah.
And how do they feel about playing in South Africa?
Well, most of the teams want to come and play here, but when it comes to women's rugby, it's all about funds and it's all about finance and all that stuff. So most of the time we go there. So it's not. It doesn't happen all the time that international teams come to South Africa and play here.
Talking about fixtures, then there are some women's fixtures coming up soon. There's a couple of matches for you guys, all happening at Milnerton. You mentioned sort of that Milnerton is sort of considered your home ground now. UWC up against Marties. That's at. Is that this Saturday?
I think it's not this Saturday.
No date, unfortunately.
It's a day. I think they scheduled the women's juniors. I call it women's junior sides to play on Friday at Milnerton. All the different schools and high schools and primary schools are playing, and then some of the senior teams will be in action there as well.
Some of the teams to mention. Let's quickly look at those fixtures there. Some of the teams to mention. UWC against Marties and Milnerton. Blue Jets at 1:10 against Khayelitsha. False Bay against Peniel at 2:20, and then at 3:30, probably in time to finish to go and watch the Stormers take, at least Western Province take on the Bulls. Busy Bees take on United Brothers. So there's your United team that you were.
That's right, all the United.
United Brothers, but shouldn't that be United Sisters?
No, the club's United Brothers, but they're strong force. The girls are. We've got quite a few new girls in the team this year, and they come from all United Brothers, Busy Bees. There's girls from False Bay, so it's a lot of new girls that's coming to the team. So to give the Marties and the UWC girls a bit of 8 senior girls teams.
8 teams playing at Milnerton Women's Rugby playing on Friday, on Women's Day.
On Women's Day.
So if there's ever a day to go support women's rugby, it's
that
this
will
Friday.
be the day.
All right, okay. We have got an interesting competition here from Leisure Hotels, folks. So you know Leisure Hotels, of course, keen sponsor to Cape Rugby TV. Last week's winner who entered the Leisure Hotels competition was Denzel Brunt. Congratulations, Denzel. You win for yourself a night's accommodation, bed and breakfast at the Strand Towers. Remember, folks, you can stay tuned for that competition, the Leisure Hotels competition. Time for us to take an ad break, and when we come back, we'll wrap it up and we'll see what else is happening in the world of rugby. We'll be back with you in a sec. Welcome back, folks. Cape Rugby TV. Yes, we don't have a lot of fixtures in the club rugby space over the weekend. Let's quickly take a look there at what is available. Of course, it being a long weekend. Tonight, of course, it is the Vics against Marties, and UC2 take Hamilton's on at UCT. On Saturday, Villagers take on UWC Peniel, Villagers take on Macassar van der Stella against Franschhoek in Premier League B, while in Division 3, Temperance take on Retreat Progress, Bishop Lavers, Young Brothers and Police. Of course, we did wrap up the Super Brew competition. This was, of course, after the Chiefs beat the Brumbies very closely in the Super 15. And then congratulations to the Super Brew winners. Our overall Super Brew winner, Kali. His real name is, well, I don't know if we can give out the real name, but okay, Carl de Klerk wins a signed DHL Stormers jersey. Double D, who came in second on the Super Brew Cape Rugby TV panel. David Ward, 2,000 rands worth of Evox products. And Rand the Man, Randall Watson, wins 1,000 rands worth of Evox products. Oh, yes, of course. The last slide is, of course, the celebrity paddle slide to showcase who is the top of the pile. Let's quickly look at the top rankings of the Cape Rugby celebrity paddle. Morgan Newman takes it for the paddle. Congratulations, Morgan. Morgan's unfortunately not here tonight. But the guy that climbed the most this week, yeah, bro. But yeah, hoe gaan I ban op die airplane effort? I kap hom so uit, né? So. Anyway, there we go. We'll leave it at that. Nalin, before we go, let's quickly grab you before we have a chance. You've got a very special day on the 17th of August in support of
my husband.
Your husband, who's currently suffering with cancer.
Yes, he's got lymph cancer. Tomorrow is actually his next chemo day. So the club has decided to support him because he's always involved with the club and always one of the behind-the-scenes guys. And the club has decided to go pink on Saturday, and we're playing Van der Stel at home. So
17th of August, Milnerton against Van der Stel at home.
That's right.
And it's also to showcase the fact that men can get breast cancer.
No, not breast cancer, it's lymph cancer.
Lymph cancer.
Lymph cancer, yeah. So.
No, but I mean men can also.
Okay,
let's just leave it at that then. Listen, our thoughts go out to the both of you. You know, we really are thinking about you guys. And I'm trusting that many people are going to come out and support you, Ishmael Dolly, your husband, and Milnerton. And we'll do the very best we can there to make sure that gets as much publicity as possible.
Thanks very much.
So there you go, folks. 17th of August, come and support. Wear pink. Must we wear pink?
Yep.
All right, we're going to wear pink on the day. Natasha, it's been fantastic having you on the show. And we wish you and the rest of the women's rugby fraternity, so to speak, the very best.
Thank you very much. It was nice being here again.
And Nalin, we'll see you guys next week Saturday.
We'll see you then.
En Mr. H, geniet die naweek, meneer. Ons het hierdie naweek af, want daar is so baie ander dinge aan en dit is 'n lang naweek.
Ja, nee, wat. Vrydag heel dag bezig en Saterdag weer.
Yeah. We start on Friday and we cut all the way through to Saturday, but of course the Western Province taking on the Bulls at Newlands. That's going to be an interesting match. We'll see you guys next week, same time, same place. Bye-bye.